Good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Bob May. I am the Executive Director of the WANP here in Seattle, Washington. I'd like to welcome you to our presentation tonight, CPT Coding Essentials for NDs. We think this is going to be a very valuable program, and I'm very pleased to be assisting our Association President, colleague, and friend, Dr. Mona Fahum, in sharing all of her experience with coding and billing issues. Mona has quite an extensive history in this area. She's been working in the management and administration and practice aspects of naturopathic care for about 17 years and has been teaching billing and coding for over 10 years. So I think you have a lot of expertise here. But without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Dr. Mona Fahum, and she will be doing the presentation tonight and again a week from tonight for part 2. So Mona, please take it away.
Thank you, Bob, for unmuting me and letting me take over control of the evening and the presentation. And welcome, everyone. Thank you for giving up an evening to listen to this. It's a very important topic for all of us who are in practice, I think, whether we take insurance or not. But certainly if you accept insurance or you are credentialed with insurance companies, this is obviously very important. They don't audit often, but it does happen, and we want to make sure all of our charting is up to snuff so that we don't ever run into problems. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we're just going to jump right in. CMS, CPT, and the guidelines. So the guidelines for CPT, I'm using the 1997 guidelines for those of you who are familiar that there's 2 different versions. Almost everyone uses the guidelines from 97. It was formulated in the 80s originally so that we could quantify our visits for reimbursement. That's when the whole CPT piece came about, and insurances wanted a codified way to grade office visits, and primarily that was through Medicare. Medicare is the end-all be-all as far as the CPT world, even though they're written by AMA and they're updated by the AMA every year, the American Medical Association. The guidelines were a joint group between CMS or the HFA and AMA in actually creating the guidelines around the codes. And all the private insurance companies typically follow whatever Medicare does. So Medicare wrote the guidelines, or Medicare uses these guidelines, so the private insurance companies follow. As you'll see, and you got an attachment in an email, but also tonight we'll be using an audit tool that insurance companies may use to grade a chart note, so to speak. This is one audit tool because this is insurance billing, and insurance companies are not in the habit of telling you how to bill to get paid the best. This is just one example of a form, and different companies may use slightly different forms, but they're all going to follow the same gist. So I wanted to make sure you had one, and that's what I'm basically teaching from. That, and there's also some great links. The American Academy of Family Practice, or Family Physicians, they have an amazing website and lots of practice management tools, so that's